Hey everyone, it's Mark here again. Promised a video last round that we would just do a quick explanation of the new standing system and how the league will work from here on out. So here we have our main page of the Rexstone League Season 1 schedule and standings page. So previously we only cared about match wins and your plus minus differential of wins and losses to determine the rankings. We've now switched over to a point system where we can have more events, side events, where it can affect the standings slightly over time. The main matches which we have scheduled here are still going to be the main bread and butter of gaining points and determining the rankings of the season. But the side events here in this column here will add a little spice up to a little more events, more action, and can play a pivotal role in a close standings as it is right now, for example. So just to explain it real quick, the change now in a best of 5 match, every game win in a match is worth 1 point. So you get a win, you get a point. End of story. If you win the match completely, you'll get a bonus 2 points, meaning a match win will give you a total of 5 points total for the victory. So in this case, if you look at my record, for example, I went 2-3 versus Scott, so I only got 2 points out of this match. I went 2-3 against Trevor as well, so I only got 2 points. So as you can see, I'm now ranked 7th with 4 points, but 0 match wins. On the flip side, you look at Pat. Pat 3-0'd Trevor. Trevor got no points. Pat got 5. Pat 3-0'd Robert. He again got 5 points. Robert got nothing. Now, the one criticism you could say about this new system is that it doesn't, personally, it doesn't matter if you win 3-2 or if you win 3-0. But the side benefit is if you win 3-0, you denied your opponents any points, making your gap from them that much larger if you're ahead in the standings, or your ability to close the gap if you come from behind to try to catch up to first or second place. So, with that being said, points are the primary way to determine the ranking. So Greg right now has played his round 3 match and got 2 wins versus Trevor in a loss. So he had 10 points to begin with. Now he's up to 12. So points are the king. Pat and Trevor right now are both tied, but this is mainly because Trevor has played his 3rd match. Pat has yet to play his 3rd match. The only way Pat stays at 10 points is if I, who's facing him next round, beat him 3-0. The likelihood of that, who knows? Pat has yet to lose a match, so I think I'm in tough. But moving on, so points are the primary. Match wins are going to be the first tiebreaker. So match wins are, if you're tied in points, match wins will still be king. Game wins will be the second tiebreaker. So the more games you've won, the better. And then side event points will not come, like they don't factor into the other than the extra points. And last but not least, if you're tied in points, you're tied in match wins, and tied in game wins, God help us if that actually happens. But if it actually does, we have a very simple rule. Your head-to-head matchup with the person you're tied with in this current season will determine the tiebreaker. So if Trevor and I end up being tied in points, match wins, and game wins, the fact that he beat me in round 2 here in our one match of the season will mean that he will win the tiebreaker and have the higher rank than I. So that's basically what happens for the regular season in the point system. It's as simple as that. Side points, I have a tab here for the side point events. So I don't know how many events we'll have in a season, but I just made enough room for up to 10. There's also something called retributions here. I'll have a separate video for that one coming up shortly. So just as quite simple, if Adam wins an event and gets 3 points out of it, you can go back to the regular season and you'll notice he has 3 extra points and brings him up to 10. That's how it's going to work. Simple as that. So right now, no side events haven't happened yet. We have announced one. See our previous video of the Singleton tournament coming up right now. That'll offer a few extra points for participants and winners. So look forward to that. And right here we have the final playoff bracket. I've got away with some of the names. Used to call something bracket A, bracket B. I just made it simple. I simplified it here. So here's how things stand. With the current standings, if the playoffs were to happen right now, Pat and Greg would be first and second seed, automatically qualifying for the semifinals. Scott and then Adam would be in the quarterfinals, and then everyone else, the bottom 4, myself included, would be placed into the qualifiers. So matches are single elimination best of 5. So you lose your match, you're gone. You're done for the tournament. And starting in the semifinals, we're going to have the tournament format, which we may implement more regularly in the future, even during the regular season. But to start off, we kept things simple. So the tournament format is quite simple. Instead of just bringing 3 decks and you play up to your 3 decks, you bring 4 decks instead. So I say I'm bringing a priest, a warlock, a paladin, and a druid. Someone can say, you know what, Mark, I really hate facing your handlock. I'm going to veto your warlock. So I just bring the other 3 decks instead, and then in turn I will pick one of his decks, veto that one, and then we just play with the rest. Starting in the semifinals and the grand finals, we will have tournament format applying there. We're still a little ways away from doing the playoffs, but I figured I'd explain it here right now. As you can see, we're doing round 3 right now. We still got 4 more rounds afterwards to go through. Hoping to get a few side events in there. Retributions will probably come into effect in round 4, I would guess. We won't do it this round just to be fair about it. Again, it's just another little side thing that could be fun to do. A nice little mechanic. I'll explain to it in the next video. And that's really about it, folks. So keep playing those, like, even if you can't get a full match victory, just getting a couple points here and there can add up. Like, look, I have 4 points, and I'm sitting at, I'm right behind Jamie here, who's had 1 match win. So sure, he'll get the tiebreaker. If I can just win 1 more match, and if Jamie loses, we're going to be tied in standings for points. So keep the wins going. Don't, even if you're down 2-0 and you think you can't make it back, still put a good effort in. Every point counts toward the end. If you can crack the top 4, you can save yourself a match in the playoffs. Like the fifth through 8th seeds can still technically win the tournament, but you got to win 1, 2, 3, 4 matches to win the tournament. Versus first and second seeds only have to win 2 matches, and third and fourth only have to win 3 matches. So definitely worth your while to put up a good fight and try to climb up those rankings. As we get more and more players involved in this league, this playoff bracket will grow mainly from this end here. So it'll be more qualifying rounds to get further in. So the top 4 will always have a huge advantage. If we ever get to 16 players, we'll probably switch up the way the brackets work, and people will just automatically qualify for the quarterfinals instead. The top 4 will qualify for quarters, and everyone else will be qualifiers. But we're not there yet. But if and when things change, I will make an announcement video, and you will all be up to date. And here, real quickly, you can find the link in the group. Here are just the general rules that I wrote up originally with some edits to compensate for this point system. Again, the legend is listed here as well. And then, as well, for the season finals, it's not really subject to change anymore, so that's the way it's going to go. Get rid of that. And then the match rules explaining the tournament format a little bit, and the sample bracket for the 8-player tournament. And that's really about it, folks. So happy Hearthstoning. Keep going in the league here. More videos to come for round 3 action if we get a chance to cast some. And yeah, that is all for now. You guys have a good one. Until next time.